What's up guys, Kelso here. In today's video I'm going to be on the Yamaha 250F testing stock versus a setup, and I gotta say this bike with a setup is basically HAIDEN DEEGAN'S 250F, man. It's insane. But with that being said, like, being able to get this bike from where it was with the old OEMs to now, it's explosive. I mean, it's always been explosive, it just lacked the power. So that's what we're going to be testing today. Stock ideal laps to see if we can qualify there, or do you actually need a setup, and does it make a huge difference? Now, if you guys haven't been following the series, I have been giving out setups every day so far for every 250, and hopefully to make it to the 450 soon. So if you haven't been following, be sure to check out those other videos. I have released a Honda so far, a Triumph, and a Suzuki, and we're going to be continuously moving on. But let's start our 5-lap stock and see what we could do with HAIDEN DEEGAN'S bike. Just straight factory off the floor. Oh, and off the bat, I'm not gonna lie, I did not like that whoops run. But the bike is still explosive and still powerful. And what I mean by that is, I don't know, like the bike always had this explosiveness. The only thing it lacked was the power band being able to be achieved to the maximum. You know, every bike now is at the straight peak together. So putting that on and keeping that torquiness and explosiveness, this bike is low-key OP. I shan't lie. I can't wait for you guys to see the setup I made for you guys. I really do think it's an absolute wonder. And honestly, like I said, I wish I would have touched up. As always, I always say this for every setup I come out with. I wish I would have touched up on it and actually had a little bit more time to test instead of a day. Because I'm not saying or discrediting the Honda for getting me into the main event. But man, there's so many more bikes that I could have been like, yep, I qualified on that. Yep, I qualified on that. And that's the coolest thing, is having so many bikes in your arsenal that are viable, you know? Granted, I mean, I'm happy I chose Honda, you know, Joe Shimoda, you know, taking that Tubski. Sheesh, man, that was such a cool thing to see IRL, man. Sad the KC to Jet, but, you know, Deegan, let's talk about Deegan for a second as well with the IRL. He started off super strong. I do think if he wouldn't have crashed, he definitely would have contended or had a good fight for it. But I've always said it, you know, Joe Shimoda having a good start is the best thing for him. You know, if he could get a good start, that guy has the same exact pace that HAIDEN DEEGAN has and or more. I mean, quote me if I'm wrong or tell me if I'm wrong, but he is that. It's just his starts, and HAIDEN DEEGAN seems to have his starts on lock. So we get that done, easy peasy. But with that also being said, the way I really kind of set up this I guess setup, drivetrain, as always, drivetrain played a huge part in this, but also, I'm not gonna lie, rebound played a huge part in this setup. I think the Yamaha's come pretty stiff already, so trying not to make this bike more stiff and make it a little bit more plush, more loose, was a little bit hard because I actually had it pretty stiff. And then I was like, you know what? Let me test something. So I actually ended up turning the rebound down pretty good, and man, let me tell you, my whoop speed came from like being able to just like have my front end keep like popping on it to actually driving through it. I thought that was absolutely amazing. Here's a completely difference from popping onto it just like this a little bit to actually being driving forward, I should say. So I really enjoyed that I was able to figure that out. It's been a lot of man hours testing these bikes, but man, has it been fun. And also creating these videos, dude. I feel like I get very just direct to understand like where I'm coming with my head. And I can't think of the guy. If you are watching this video as well, huge shout out to you for actually coming up with that idea for San Diego. He would love to see me how I create or make complete changes to a bike from, you know, track to track. So I thought that'd be an amazing video. Hopefully that comes out and really just explain the difference of what's going to be happening, or like what I look for from track to track to be able to make my bikes and setups work. So that was pretty sick. Let me know down in the comment section if that was a W. Let me know down in the comment section if it's not a W, but I thought it was pretty sick. W idea from him. But as we can see, we're on a 1:14 with a 1.5 second almost up on our time. If we can get a 1:13 or a 1:12 stock, I am super happy. Happy camper. 1:12 stock so far. Let's see if we can keep going. I don't know where I'm losing a lot of good time, but I would love to see myself a 1:11. You know, that's a 1:12.2, so our ideal might be a 1:11. If I can get this down to a 1:10 as an ideal, that'd be insane stock. You know, so it might be viable to where you can actually qualify with this bike stock, you know, and just putting on the race mapping. Oh yeah, I also forgot to say that. The only thing I did change on the stock, as always, is my back tire. my feel, and then I changed my race mapping from standard just so I can get that actual elite stuff, because I don't think you can get this amount of power on standard for sure. So good triple in money. We were just making that a little bit easier and easier, a little bit easier and easier. We're in a right now we're in a 111 situation, and I went and cased, went and effed around and cased right there. But we are in a 111 situation right now, which is absolutely insane. Can we get it? Wait a second, we're up a little bit even more. Is this bike that crazy? Stop. Oh my god. Okay, hold on, wait a second, what were we at? 111.5 last lap, and I'm gonna case it and butcher it. I do want to try one more lap. Pretty insane instead of doing one of those. Holy smokes, let's go one more time. I want to see if we can get to a 110 stock, dude. And if you could have qualified straight in, or like a low 110 stock, dude, that's insane. I got this bike like that. That just goes to show with a setup. I really want to show you how more crazy it is, dude. I do think it is the most explosive bike on the market right now. Ooh. At least out of the 250. So here's a whole reason why the Yamaha is actually winning IRL. Holy smokes. And I low-key want to come out with like a video as well, to where it's like 5 things you need to know in order to create a setup. I think I might make that setup here, that video here soon. Maybe like an informational video for like a Sunday or something like that. Oh man, I upshifted to 4 thinking that this was my gearing 1149, but it wasn't. I had no more power in that. But yeah, with that being said, I would love to create that video, and I might do it this Sunday. Hopefully I didn't release it and you're some freaking somebody in here's like, oh, that's my idea now. But until to each their own, if it comes out, I'm W with it. But all right, let's see our ideal though. I really do want to see our ideal. 111.2. I think that would have qualified us into the main. It wouldn't have been pretty. I think we would have been like cutting it close. Well, I think we qualified into the main with 11.2. That's pretty nice. Let's head over to the setup. All right, here at the Yamaha, excuse me, not here on the Yamaha, at the dude, what? I butchered. Here at, oh my god, I said it again. On the Yamaha 250F setup, dude. That is so wild. I said here. On the Yamaha 250F setup, not gonna lie, man, I really do enjoy this bike. It's just hard to get this bike to stay super consistent for me. Just got how explosive I've gotten the bike. Being able to wheel this bike for 15 minutes, 10 minutes or so, all the way around the track is the hardest part. Just because of how torquey it is, you got to be able to wield that power for 15 minutes and hit your same lines over and over and over again. Now, 100%, it might just be skill diff. I really do think this bike is the most explosive out of the pack. But being able to keep this bike up in high graces is going to be the challenge. But hopefully we can persevere and make that happen in this video for sure. Up and over. Being able to downside that correctly instead of jumping a little bit farther is going to be huge as well. And the challenge, just like I said, some of these jumps, you just really have to scale it correctly and be able to hit them. And if you don't, then you're kind of screwed. So let's see what our first lap is though. It's going to be a 111 low. So if we can actually shave that up, we low-key OJ the crap out of that. That's going to be bad. But the whoop speed is absolutely there for sure. The whoop speed definitely saved, I think, this lap. We definitely went way too high, and trying to overjump that is not going to be ideal either. Just like I said, man, trying to not OJ stuff or know how much power you need to give this bike is hard, because I feel like it has, let's say, a limited amount of power, but it has like an insane amount of power coming from the last OEM update, being how explosive it was, and now actually having that engine mapping, that race mapping. So now it's even more explosive, more torquey, and super racy. So that's what we're trying to figure out in this video, if we can control that power and be able to get the setup to be viable and work. And just like that, I hate that middle triple. That's going to be the death of me in this video for sure, but hopefully we can persevere and make it happen. Second lap is not going to be a good ideal for us. We definitely dropped and tanked it. But that's the coolest thing about being able to run 5 good laps, or 5 laps in general, is, a lap or 2 doesn't, take your ideal for everything. You have a little bit more time, a little bit more you know, ways to get through and hopefully drop that ideal time. That was a way better run to the whoops. See if we can get through this triple. Good, nice and low, scrub. Scrub, perfect, wrap around. Nice, that's what I'm looking for. That's how I'm liking it. Fourth gear, yeah, third and fourth gear makes this bike absolutely everything around a supercross track. Now, the only thing I really do change from track to track is what I've already tried as well, is when I go to DDC, I just have to change the gearing a little bit so I can make certain jumps. And it's just because every track is scaled differently. So that's really the toughest part of having you know, the 1149s and or having whole different, you know, bikes or tracks, tracks to go to, because everybody's scaling is completely different. That's a good jump. Hopefully we can save that. We can definitely save that 0.6 up. 0.6 up. Biggest thing I want to hit is maybe a low 110. If I can get a low 110, I will be a happy camper knowing that I can get this bike at a good spot, and that is a low 110. Oh, baby. A 110.3. Even get a better run to the whoops. That might get us our freaking that 109 and or ideal. If I can get a low ideal to a 109 or a 110, I'm going to ruin it right here. I'm going to ruin it all right there. That little spot. Never mind, I stay up on it. Demon. Absolutely insane. Scrub. Get low, get low, get low. Get low. Go, go, go. Alright, we were up 0.2 and we lost it so far, so we got to be able to make it back. Got to get a good scrub here. Moment of truth. Can we get around this triple nice and easy? Yes, sir. Get a good scrub. Gonna be on this triple right here. Thank you. Finally able to scale it correctly. Been having so much trouble, and then we don't hit the triple over. I mean, we don't hit the freaking table over. So we hit one thing and then we don't hit the next. Gosh, man, you gotta love the way MX Bikes works, dude. It's like your brain can successfully do something one way, and then once when you go the next time, it's over. But you know, let's go for our last little lap. Hopefully we don't OJ that. We don't. We definitely started off pretty bad with these laps, but one good lap that we needed was huge. I mean, that literally got us that 110.3, which I would love right now to get one more fast lap. I think it would cut our ideal lap super nice. And as we can see, we're leaving like 0.2, 0.3 on the clock. So that 110 flat to a 109 is doable. I would love to get it. I'd love to get it right here as well. But it's just going to be a little bit difficult just trying to keep this bike wicked out or you know, keep that momentum going. Nice. Not gonna be able to hit that triple N. I felt it. I got on the power way too late. I'm not gonna lie. I low-key want to return the pit. I think we can get there. I think we can get there for sure. Give me one more good lap. This might be it right here. If we can't, we'll chalk it up. If we can't, we'll chalk it up. Whoops run was not the best. Ooh. But at least now that I know that I could have qualified on this bike if I had it. I always say that, man. If I had these bikes when qualifying was, I probably could have made almost any of these bikes viable to put into the main event. And that's huge. So, biggest thing now is just staying consistent with these bikes. All right, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Cut her down. Nice. Good triple. We got to get on that power early. Got to get on that power early. Nice. Good scrubs. Good triple out. Moment of truth. Can we hit it? Up and over. Can we get on that gas pretty early? Most definitely. Oh. Just not going to be able to hit the corner the way we want it. Dang it. Honestly, I'm not mad about it, but I definitely do think with a little bit more testing, or if we had more than 5 laps, or granted 6, I do think we could have got an ideal of a 109, like high 109, but a 110.2. I mean, look at this, a 111 and a 111 and a 112. I only hit 110. That's not good, man. Like that shows right there that with this 110.3, if these would have been great laps, like anywhere near the 110s, we would have had it. But it is viable. The bike is viable. I think this shows right now is that it's just the consistency level of this bike is hard to complete to get it at the same level. Like the consistency of those laps were not it. But here is the setup. I do think I just need more testing on it or more comfortability. I've tried my best to try to get the flow of these bikes, but I have been going from every other bike trying to get these tested. So I think as soon as I ride on a bike for a good amount of hours and feel comfortable, I think I'll be okay. But hopefully this setup does help you. Just sucks that I couldn't get that like little ideal lap. I do think I have it if I would have been a little bit better about it. Well, thank you for clicking on the video. It's your boy Kelso, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hit that like button, subscribe button. Bye.